Here's a beginner-friendly French Provincial furniture flip using basic tools and a little creativity, because you don't need a workshop full of fancy tools to create a gorgeous makeover. Hi, I'm Denise from Salvaged Inspirations. Welcome back to my furniture painting DIY channel. Let's get started. A few weeks ago, I had a request on YouTube. Donna mentioned that all the tools looked intimidating and she'd love to see a beginner-friendly furniture flip using basic tools. I love this suggestion because after doing something over and over again for so many years, it becomes second nature. But I do remember when I first started painting furniture, how scrappy and thrifty I was with my supplies. And it was a fun journey. And I wish someone had been there to reassure me that you don't need fancy tools to create a gorgeous piece of furniture. So let's totally transform these French Provincial tables. To start the prepping process, I removed the hardware using an inexpensive multi-screwdriver. These you can buy at the dollar store, any Home Depot or hardware store. And I've used these for multiple uses as well, like lifting drawer guides, just using a little bit of leverage, removing staples, opening my drawers when they have wet paint and the hardware has been removed. You just stick them in there and pull and the drawers will come open. So you don't just need to use them as the regular screwdriver as you'd think. Use your imagination, and this can be a multi-tool. After I had all the handle hardwares removed, I placed them in a cup for safekeeping. Once all the handles were off, the tables got a really good cleaning with a heavy-duty furniture cleaner and a sponge. These sponges you can get from the dollar store, and also you don't need a spray bottle. You can actually just put a little bit of vinegar and a few drops of Donna and some water in a bucket or a sink and clean your furniture that way. If you don't have a sponge on hand, you can also use an old rag or t-shirt, anything that you have on hand to clean them up. But it is very important to clean the furniture on the inside and the out very thoroughly. This will ensure that your new beautiful paint job will stick to your furniture for years to come. To scuff sand the furniture before priming, I usually use an orbital sander. But for the first few years of painting furniture, I scuff sanded all my furniture by hand. I bought inexpensive sheets of general purpose 220 grit sandpaper at the hardware stores and or online. I even found them at the dollar store. Then I would cut them into quarters, 4 pieces, using my painter's multi-tool. But back then I did not have one, so just use scissors, or you could even tear the sheets. And then using the piece of sandpaper, I just go in and hand sand everything. This is a scuff sanding. I'm not trying to remove the finish. I'm just trying to scuff it up and give it enough tooth, a light scuff to roughen it up a little so the primer sticks. If your furniture makeover requires a full sanding because you're trying to strip the finish 100%, I would not do this by hand. That would take forever. So go and get yourself an inexpensive palm sander or orbital sander to do the work for you. However, for a painted finish and a light scuff sanding, these sheets of sandpaper work perfectly fine. When getting into a curved section or an edge, a decorative edge, I just take the quarter piece of sandpaper, I fold it in half and just get into the creases that way. Once I had everything scuff sanded and all the dust removed, it was time to prime. I'm using Bonding Boss, which is a bonding primer and stain remover. And I'm using a 4-inch roller to apply my primer. I like applying my primers with these rollers because the primer goes on smoothly and quickly. I get my 4-inch rollers. I'll add the link down below to the products I'm using. But before I started ordering them online, I bought them from the dollar store along with my sandpaper, paintbrushes, etc. And I just want to mention that using inexpensive tools to apply the paint works great, or apply the primer. This is a great way to save money on your furniture flips when you're starting out. However, I would purchase a really good primer and a good furniture paint for the best finish. Whether you're painting a piece of furniture for your own home, you want it to last for years to come. If you're going to be putting in the work to give it a brand new look, you don't want it to start chipping, peeling, scratching off a few months down the road. And if you're starting a furniture painting business, you certainly don't want that happening to a client who buys a piece of your furniture. So although you don't need expensive tools to apply your primer paint and get the piece rolling, I would invest in a half-decent primer and paint for your finish. And there are so many lovely brands of primer and paint to choose from. So I suggest shopping around, trying a few, and finding which ones you like to work with. This bonding and stain blocking primer needs to dry overnight to take effect because this is a water-based brand. So I let it dry overnight. I came down the following morning. I removed one of the screws from the back of my hardware and gave this primer a really good scratch test. This ensures that everything has adhered 100%. You can see that it does leave like a pencil mark from the screw, but nothing comes off, nothing lifts, nothing scratches off. I went ahead and removed the little stickies at the end of the feet, which I probably should have done that before I primed. I totally forgot. I gave my coat of primer a light scuff sanding. This is not necessary, but I'm in the habit of sanding between coats. A super fast scuff sanding between coats of primer and or paint takes me all of 2 minutes and gives a very professional finish. And now for the fun part, it's time to paint. I recently ordered another new to me paint color called Heirloom Chalk Mineral Paint. I would describe it as a rich jewel green with a very strong blue undertones. I really like this color. I love it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have ordered it. Yet, I was a little unsure if I was going to like it on this pair of French Provincial side tables. I have to admit, even after painting furniture for 14 plus years, sometimes when it's a strong or bold color, I sometimes hesitate before using it or give it a double thought. But that just comes from fear of using something new to me. So I just opened the jar and I gave it a go. To apply this paint, I used my synthetic Dixie Belle short brush, which I love. But when I first started, I would get my paint brushes from the dollar store. Then I upgrade, and you can get them, they're seriously $1 or $1.25 now. I'm not sure if anything's $1 at the dollar store anymore. Then I upgraded to these 2-inch short Worcester shortcut paint brushes, and they are very inexpensive, usually between $6 and $8, and they also work fabulous. Another tip for furniture flips is I actually really like flipping the furniture, literally, so I can see the bottom of the piece. And this way I ensure that all the nooks and crannies are covered in paint. To paint any armchairs or turned legs, I like using my slap it on technique. And I'll also link that in the description box down below so you can go take a peek at that. This leaves 0 brush marks. I continued working my way around painting these 2 tables with the first coat of Heirloom. And even after all these years, I always like reminding myself that the first coat is always ugly. It looks a little patchy with the primer beading through. It looks uneven. But the coat number 2 is where the magic happens. So when you're applying your first coat of paint, brush the paint on, distribute it as evenly as possible, But keep in mind, this is a base coat. It's not going to give you full coverage or look good when you first do your first coat of paint. Once I finished painting all the sides, I left everything to dry. I went upstairs, had myself some lunch, did some chores, and then when everything was dry, and this is a chalk paint, it dries quite quickly, like within 2 hours, everything will be fully dry. So I came back downstairs, flipped them over, and it was time to paint the tops of these pretty tables. Another great tip is use a brush, the size of the brush you need to complete the job. And here I'm using an artist brush just to get into all that line detailing. Once the first coat was all dry, again within a couple of hours, I came back downstairs and started applying coat number 2. And as I mentioned, this is where the magic happens. It gives full coverage, usually 2 coats will do it, full coverage, and it looks magnificent. I should also mention for coat number 2, I did use my continuous spray water bottle to spray a little bit of moisture onto my brush just to make the chalk paint glide nice and evenly over the first coat. And the reason being is chalk paint is very porous. When I'm brushing it on over a primer, it glides nicely. When I'm brushing it on top of another coat of chalk paint, you can feel a little bit of a drag. And if this is the case, if your brush is not gliding as nicely as you'd like, just give it a little spray, a little mist, then dip it into your paint, and this will make all the difference. I let the second and final coat of paint dry overnight, and I came down the next morning and let's give this piece some character. These tables have a lovely curved design, and I just wanted to highlight this. I decided to add some floral design to the drawers. Furniture transfers are easy and fun to use. I cut out the design I want to apply to my project. I usually do not use an entire transfer, so the 4 sheets last for a good few projects. Once I have the pieces cut out, it's time to play, and this is the fun part. I arrange them on the drawer and play around with the design until I like the look. I also find it helpful to add the hardware, and then you can see where the design lays in correlation with the hardware that's going to be on the piece. And I find this helpful. It gives me a nice visual. Applying these transfers is very easy. You just remove the backing from the transfer piece. You place it on your project exactly where you want it. And then using the burnishing tool that they provide, you rub the transfer until you see it's lifting from this mylar paper. You can see the difference because the transfer doesn't look quite as clear. It'll sort of have a milky color because it has loosened itself from this piece of mylar or plastic and has adhered itself onto your project. Once you see that that's taken place, you just lift this plastic sheet off and you'll have a beautiful design on your piece. And these can add so much character, and there's so many transfers to choose from. I have a full tutorial on how to rub on transfers, which I will add in the cards above and also in the description box down below. To protect this heirloom paint finish on these tables, I used a beginner-friendly and no fancy tool top coat, clear wax. You can't go wrong applying wax, and no fancy tools are required. I have used an old sock, a ripped up t-shirt, a lint-free rag, or shop towel, and any of these will work. Here I'm using my big wax brush, which is super convenient and works really nicely. But here I'm also demonstrating how you can apply the wax and rub it off with a lint-free cloth as well. And protecting your paint finish with wax gives a beautiful satin velvet finish on it. And you can't go wrong applying it. It's as easy as wipe on and then wipe off. It's seriously that simple. It doesn't matter in which direction you apply it either. Unlike some other top coats, they all need to be applied in one direction. You have to think about streaking, etc. But with wax, you can apply it in any direction. You can apply it in a rounded way, side to side, up and down. It sinks into your paint finish. I like thinking of it like a lotion. I really want to rub that lotion in. I don't just want to apply it in some areas and leave it not applied or rubbed in others. So I really rub this wax in before I start buffing it off. Also, you can apply the wax and wait 20 to 30 minutes before buffing, but I'll be honest, I rarely do. I like wiping it on, applying it, and then buffing it off right away. I've been spray top coating my pieces for quite some time now because I just have so much darn fun with that paint gun. However, I sometimes forget what a beautiful sheen wax gives to a painted piece of furniture. So again, this is a no fuss way of top coating your piece and no fancy tools required. For the final detail, I gilded the original French Provincial hardware with copper gilding wax. I like usually using an old artist brush, but a brush is not needed. If we're doing a beginner-friendly back to basics, your fingertip will work just fine. So very little is needed, and it dries 100% overnight. I just dip my finger into the gilding wax, rub it over the hardware, leave it overnight, and the following day, I like taking a soft rag or a shop towel and buffing it out before screwing the hardware back onto the piece. And again, using the same gorgeous hardware in the existing holes is a very beginner-friendly way to update your furniture, especially if you have beautiful vintage hardware like this. So, just as a reminder, here's the before. And here's the after. And a big thank you to Donna for suggesting this makeover. It was a great reminder when I first started painting furniture how scrappy and thrifty I was with my supplies. And it was a fun journey. And I wish someone had been there to reassure me that you don't need fancy tools to create a gorgeous piece. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you've gained any value from this makeover, please feel free to like and subscribe here on YouTube. And until next project, have a fabulous week. Bye, guys.